Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Microsoft Office Add-in Community Call of February the 12th. And today we have three topics. The one is the PowerPoint Preview APIs, and also a topic about the Outlook mobile add-ins. And another topic is about the WXP add-ins with the Unified Manifest public preview. So let's go on. All right, so we have three presenters today, and the first one would be Esther, who is our Senior Product Manager, and also Yash, who is our Product Manager, and also Luyi, who is the Senior Product Manager of Microsoft. All right, so maybe we can first switch to the next topic, and let's go, and we'll return to the first topic when Esther is here. All right, so maybe Yash. Do you want to get started?
Sure. Hey, thanks everyone, and good morning, good evening. I know most of the people are in different parts of the world, so good evening to the people who are in eastern part. Good evening to the people who are in eastern part, and good morning to the people in the western part. So today I'm going to present about the Outlook mobile add-ins. I'm Yash Khanapure. I am a PM in the Outlook extensibility area, where we look at different platforms, new Outlook, classic Outlook, mobile, Mac, etc. Currently, the today's topic I'll be speaking about the Outlook mobile add-ins and the capabilities that we have right now. So just giving you a brief of context, right? Whenever we are commuting or traveling to work or in transit, we happen to check every morning our mobiles. Who has messaged you, who has emailed you? Is there anything that you need to catch up on? And you generally, have your handheld device, which is a mobile, Android or iOS, to quickly check your emails, maybe share like a reply or quickly reply to the people in need, right? And there is a lot of capabilities that were present on the other Outlook platforms, namely the bigger screens, but there were lack of capabilities on the Outlook mobile per se. So we heard this feedback from our developers, and I'm happy to present that we have been working on it, and we have few exciting features that we have enabled for Outlook mobile add-ins. So talking about first, so we have enabled the event-based activation for Outlook platform, Outlook mobile platform. This is for Android as well as iOS. So if you see the first one, which is on new message compose, this gets triggered when the user starts composing a new message, and also includes actions like reply, reply all, and forward. On message recipient change, this happens when you edit when you add a recipient, remove a recipient, or a change a recipient to whom you are drafting the mail or composing the mail. This helps to track changes to the to CC BCC field in real time. And the latest to this addition is on message from changed, which gets triggered when the sender sends that email from the email account from the from field while composing a message. So let's say if you have multiple accounts on your mobile, and if you want to change from account A to account B, that's where this event will be triggered. Although majorly these events are really helpful for the signature solutions or signature add-ins, but there are also use cases that can be, these events can also be consumed for use cases where you need to track these changes instead of checking for external recipient or checking for an multi-account scenarios. So can we move to the next slide, where I'll show you the demo of how each of these three events work.
Hello, everyone. Today we'll be showcasing an exciting new feature in Outlook for Android and iOS, Autorun. This feature automates repetitive tasks and improves productivity by seamlessly integrating with Outlook's event-driven actions. Let's start with the On New Message Compose event. This triggers automation as soon as you start composing a new message. For example, it can automatically insert a standard greeting or a signature block. Imagine how much time you'll save with automated message templates. Next, we have the On Message Recipient Change event. This event fires whenever you add or change the recipients in your email. It can automatically suggest related documents or previous conversation threads. Think of the endless possibilities for enhancing your email workflow with personalized recommendations. Finally, the on message from change event activates when you change the sender's email address, perfect for those managing multiple accounts. It can automatically update your signature or set different rules based on the sender. This ensures your communication stays consistent and professional. With these auto-run events, the possibilities are truly endless. From automating common tasks to enhancing your email composition, Outlook's new features are designed to make your experience smoother and more efficient. Thank you for your time, and I hope you're as excited about these features as we are.
Great. Can we move to the next slide? So cool. That's what we have on Outlook Mobile presently. I also wanted to briefly share what's coming next on Outlook Mobile for add-ins. We've heard a lot of feedback is, hey, can we have on message send event, which is used for composing and messages. And I just saw a message in the chat as well stating the same. So yes, good news. It is coming next to the Outlook Mobile platform. So what does it does is on message send is triggered when a user sends an email message. Now this event will allow you to perform actions such as validating content, applying policies, or modifying the messages before it is sent. Similarly, we are introducing on appointment send. This is will be on the calendar appointment or calendar surface, which will help you to enable execute actions like enforcing compliance rules, updating appointment details prior to sending. So yeah, good news, it's coming soon, and hopefully you'll be able to test it soon, very likely in H2. Can we move to the next? So you will find the event-based activation and public documentation and all the related supported APIs on Outlook Mobile. Feel free to go ahead and try the scenarios out, and hopefully they cater to your use case. So that's it from my end, and thank you everyone for patiently listening in.
All right, thank you. So I see Esther in the channel, so we will switch back to the first topic. So Esther.
Hi. I've attended this call a few times, and I'm excited to be back. We've made some progress on PowerPoint APIs, and want to share them with you. Mingjia, can you move the slides forward, please? So we have a few PowerPoint APIs in preview. If you've developed for PowerPoint, you probably are very familiar with our API reference. So everything is available there, and just a reminder, you'll need to access the reference the beta library to access the preview APIs. So what are they? You're probably really excited. Our next slide shares a little bit more about which APIs are now available. So we're now available. We've recently released, I think at the beginning of the month, the ability to group and ungroup and know a little bit more about group shapes. And so those are now available in preview. And we would love for you to try them out, see if they work, or if anything's missing or lacking, and file bugs accordingly. Another thing I'd love to share on the next slide is that we have our APIs into production. So a few months ago, I came to talk about hyperlinks, custom properties, and also custom XML parts. And those are now officially out in production, and we're excited for you to use those for all of your users.
All right. Thank you, Esther. So you have problems, you can post them to the chat channel. All right, so let's switch to the next topic. Luyi, do you want to go ahead?
Okay, thank you, Mingjia. Hi, everyone. So with several months preparation, so we are so excited to share that the developer public preview of WXP Add-ins with the unified manifest for the Microsoft 365 is officially starts from now. So finally. So just in case that some of you just heard this feature for the first time, I'd like to give a recap of the feature. So as you know that with the current XML manifest add-ins, As developers, you can only create add-ins that can either work in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or a separate one work in Outlook or Teams with the JSON manifest. So in the past several years, Microsoft is working on a new model to unify the extensibility of M365 apps. So previously, Microsoft has unified the manifest for Teams, Outlook, and Office.com apps, which means that you can create an app that can work across these three M365 apps. But now it finally comes to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So we believe that all the Microsoft M365 users can benefit from this unified manifest app. So for developers, with the unified manifest, you can now finally build a single solution that can work across Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and Office.com app. So you will have the flexibility to share code across the apps with a similar experience, or you can also customize it for unique experience in each app. So what's more important is that the unified manifest is the prerequisite for support the Copilot extensibility. And also for end user, with the unified manifest app, end user can acquire the app from any M365 app built-in unified store with a consistent experience, and it will be available to all the supported M365 app. And finally, for admins, so with the unified manifest app, the development, the deployment, and the management effort will be reduced. So now we allow admin to manage app across, to manage the app access per app and the user in a unified setting page, which is the integrated app in M365 Admin Center. This will avoid the scenario that the add-in store is disabled due to admin just want to disable some of the add-ins. Yeah. So basically, we believe that all developers can get benefit for this new unified manifest app. For example, if you are new developers who don't have add-in solution right now, you can start with the unified manifest and be ready for the future iteration. And if you already have some like existing add-ins, and even if it already be published, you can also choose to either to merge this existing add-in or apps into a single app for easier distribution without losing your current customers, or you can also choose to extend your existing add-ins or apps to support more 365 apps to enrich the functionality and expanding your customer base. Or you can also try to you can also just simply convert your existing add-ins to apps with unified manifest with fully functionality support. Yeah. Mingjia, next page, please. Yeah. So I'd like to introduce more details about this developer public preview. So now the feature is fully available for Office desktop beta channel. So we are gradually rolling out this feature, so more user and platform will be supported soon. And at the beginning of the public preview, the text pane and the content add-in are available now. So the support for custom function and also shortcuts will be supported soon. And now you can do local test with the desktop. And also you can do the Lano business central deployment within your tenant right now. So we will soon support to publish to the add-in store. So here you can see we have with this public preview of this unified apps, we have provided the consistent store experience for all the end users. And also to help developer to easily get started, we will also provide developer an updated version of the Teams toolkit that works with the Visual Studio Code. So Mingjia, next page, please. here you can get the pre-release version of the toolkit from the Visual Studio Code market. And with this toolkit, you can easily to get started with the templates, and also you can easily convert your existing XML add-in project to JSON unified manifest project. And also you can easily to debug or sideload in Office and Teams app. So have a try with this new toolkit, and remember to switch to the pre-released version of the toolkit. Yeah. So here are some useful documents to help you to get started with the development, or you can get more information about the unified manifest. Especially for the first one, the blog, it will introduce all the details about the toolkit and also the step-by-step guidance to help you development the unified manifest app. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Luyi. All right, so other than that topics, we also have this documentation highlights of this month. So as you can see through the list, and I will also paste all those links to the chat channel. So if you're interested in any of the document updates, you can just click through the link and check about more details. And we will add this section in the every future monthly community call so that you can check the recent documentations updates right there. All right. So we will go to the next topic, and David will give us an update on the nested app authentication and give us a Q&A section. So David, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Mingjia. Do you mind continuing the slides? I only have like 3 slides, so this won't take too long. I just wanted to give folks an update on where we're at with deprecation of the legacy exchange online tokens. This is, we've been chatting about this on a few community calls now. So here's the updated timeline. So I want to make sure everybody knew, because previously we were saying into February, roughly, we would be starting to turn off the tokens. So now we have an exact date. I want to make sure to share that out. So we're going to start on February 17th with a very small set of users out there where we start turning off the tokens, and then that will continue for several weeks through mid-March. So we're just doing a very gradual rollout to make sure things go as smoothly as possible. By the end of that, the tokens will be turned off for all tenants worldwide. Now, if an admin wants to opt out of that, they can. There's a commandlet, and I'll be sure we get a link at the chat here to the documentation on how to do this, but you can run a PowerShell commandlet to say, hey, I want my tokens on. And if you do that today, they'll stay on even when this rolls out. So there is an opting out process for that. Now in June, later this year, we'll be turning off all the tokens. And at that point, you won't be allowed as an admin to go turn them back on. They're just going to be off. There will be a process that we'll put in place probably a few months from now. We'll have more details on how that will work, but there might be some limited exceptions to that. And then finally by October of this year, they're just turned off, no exceptions or at all. So that's the plan. And as before, we've said if you have an add-in that's using exchange tokens or the legacy exchange online tokens, you need to move it off of those. The primary path for that is to use nested app authentication, which will give you the SSO experience. And the FAQ, which is a link here to that, has all the information about that, common questions developers have been asking, as well as add-ins and updates. So next slide, please. It's just a list of links, which I'll be sure we put these in the chat here. The main link I would say to keep an eye on is the FAQ, which is like the third one down there, because we update anytime there's some kind of new thing or new tool or some kind of update out there, we update that right away. It's pretty live. So please keep checking back in on that. And next slide, please. And I was thinking we could do some Q&A if anyone has questions, Mingjia, would you be able to see when someone raises a hand? And if you want to ask a question, we don't need to use the chat. Just go ahead and ask it, and I'll answer it. And Paul is here as well. Paul Inverso is product manager. He's here as well to help answer some questions.
Yeah, so everyone, if you have questions for David, and you can raise your hand.
So I do see in the chat someone asked, as an admin, can I run anything to see if any apps exist that would be impacted? So at the moment, no, but we are working on a commandlet tool that you can run in PowerShell that will generate a report of which add-ins have been using exchange tokens. And we're hoping to get that out very soon. The FAQ currently lists that as early 2025, but the moment that is available, if there's updated information, we'll share that. Now, in the meantime, you're not blocked, though. If you still want to find out, there is a list of known add-ins that we know still use the exchange tokens, or at least as of October. We ran this query back in October. And I'll put this in the link. And there's instructions there on how to run some PowerShell commands to find these add-ins. So I'm just going to grab that right now.
Yeah. All right. So I think we have someone raising hand. So Yannick, I'm not sure I pronounced it right.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yes, I've got a question. Earlier, you guys talked about there will be a small group of tenants that will be for which we'll be turning off the actions on online tokens. Can you give more info about that? It's like, is it like a very, very small group, or because I'm just starting to migrate to Nested App, and I'm just wondering if I have still some time to make that transition.
Yeah, so the way it will work is like the week of like February 17th. I don't know, maybe Paul, you might have more specific numbers. I know it's a very small set.
Yeah, I could take this. So beginning next week, what's going to happen is it's going to roll out to what we call internally to Microsoft a slice in production. This is a very, very small set of customers that are in non-strategic Microsoft tenants. So it will go there and progress next week, 10, 50, 100% by the end of the week in a slice in production. The real hit won't occur till the week of February 24th. February 24th is when we go 1% worldwide of customers. This will be a really good cross-section of tenants that will be receiving this off by default rollout flight. One thing that we're going to do internally in Microsoft is we're going to be using this in order to learn a lot of what's going on, sensing what's coming in, and be able to respond accordingly. But one thing we're not going to do is we're not just going to go ahead and just roll this out 100% worldwide all at once. So as David mentioned, it's going to progress all the way through mid-March until eventually we reach 100% worldwide where you go off by default. I just want to just foot stamp one thing that David said. If you have customer tenants that you're working with and you feel you will not have time to do this, I strongly advise you to reach out to them to have them run the commandlet to enable legacy tokens to give you that little extra time to get this done before June. Hopefully that answers your question, Yannick.
Yes, totally. Thanks.
Thanks, Paul. And I just put a link in the chat real quick to that article on how an admin can go turn the tokens on or off. And again, like if you turn them on now, you'll be exempt. It's not like you have to run the command again after we do this rollout. Your tokens will stay on regardless of the rollout. So thank you. Is there another question?
Yeah, we have some questions from chat. And the first one is that as an admin, can I run anything to see if any apps exist that would be impacted?
Yes. So if that would be the link I pasted in previously, it's to the Office.js repo, and there's an add-ins folder we put in there that has a list of add-ins that are known to use legacy tokens. And there's some commandlets in there you can run to see if you have any of those add-ins and if you would be affected or not. And again, soon we hope to have a tool you can run that'll just be a lot simpler, that you can just run it and it will report, it'll generate a report for you.
All right. So the next question would be, how does NNA mesh with the new Outlook mobile events presented today?
NAA works on Outlook Mobile. So if you want that single sign-on experience, that will work. And if you're in an event-based add-in, it will work there as well. In fact, we have a sample that shows how to use Nested App Authentication in events. And it should just work on mobile. I can put a link to it here real quick if you want.
Okay.
Well, it's in the links. Like I'll put in a big list of links here at the end, so I'm not taking too much time here, just trying to paste stuff. But it's in the big list of links we're going to put in this chat.
All right. So we'll go to next question. Is there any way to still use EWS after legacy tokens being turned off?
If you're making calls to EWS APIs, as long as they don't require an exchange token, you're fine. Or if you're, again, like if you're an on-premise exchange, everything works there. You can still use exchange tokens on that. We're only turning off the tokens online. But keep in mind that Exchange Web Services is only going to work until, I believe it's October 2026. I have to go double check the date, but I seem to recall, EWS is going to be deprecated. It is deprecated and will be shut down by 2026.
That is the correct date, David. It is October 2026.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So a next question would be, is there a way to see tenants who have consented to the Azure app for add-in so that I can tell which customers need to consent to?
Oh, that's an interesting question, right? Yeah, because you have to set up an app registration if you're going to be using Microsoft Graph APIs instead of EWS. I might have to follow up on that. I don't know off the top of my head if there's a way to tell. I know like tenant admins can tell, but if you're the developer publishing your add-in, I'm not sure. So I'd have to follow up on that one. Maybe
Yeah.
Mingjia, do we still post like a blog follow-up
Yes.
to this
Yes.
call?
We still have the blog.
I could answer it there. Or if you want to ask on GitHub, like submit an issue in our Office.js repo with the same question, I could answer it there too.
Okay. So let's see if there's other questions. So if I miss your question, you can just raise your hand.
Mingjia, I just want to address, Cody had a question in chat, and I definitely empathize with them about the dates and when it was going to happen. So originally when we had the message that went out in last August, we said that this was happening in February. We weren't able to give quite an exact date until we had some more information about the exact rollout timelines and everything else in between. So the date that was communicated back in August was February of 2025. So what we have done is now put precision to exactly what that date is. And that's what we're communicating out. So if you have any other sort of concerns, definitely ask that you reach out to your customers and make sure that they allow commandlet tokens, using the commandlet to have the legacy tokens enabled in their tenants, but definitely empathize with you. But we're doing this in order to have better security for our customers. So we do appreciate everybody's ability to do this, and we understand the disruptive nature of this request.
Paul,
Thanks.
we chatted with David through email, and that date was communicated like 2 weeks ago, February 24th. That's why it's frustrating.
Well, we communicated back in August. It was coming February.
Yeah, and we followed up with David, and he gave a specific date of February 24th. That's why it's we've communicated out to our customers that they have to do this before we release on the 20th, preparing for this, and now that date's changing. So that's why it's frustrating.
Understand.
Are there any additional questions?
Yeah, let me see. The question to David. Question. Oh, okay. So I see this one. How to avoid the loopback issue in VS Code in Windows 11. Okay, we have a screenshot, and I don't do. Is this a question about NAA or is it about the documentation?
It doesn't look like it's NAA.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you want to debug on Windows, you have to turn on the loopback. You need to enable that. But what's the question? Is it not working?
Yeah, the question is that the workaround proposed in the doc is not work. So I think maybe we can follow up these questions to see how this workaround.
Okay. Oh, it looks like Rudy, you've got a issue out there that we can go look at. Yeah, we can just follow up on that GitHub issue.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Rudy. And another question I see is that if the EWS goes, how do we access public folders programmatically?
I'm trying to let me think about that for just a sec. So there's going to be gaps, right? Like, and we know, like right now, if you try and move off legacy Exchange tokens to using Microsoft Graph APIs, that if there's any gap that Microsoft Graph doesn't support something, you ask that you please let us know, post an issue at the Office.js repo. I know on the last call, there were a couple questions that came up around this, and we've been trying to work to make sure we have workarounds in place. But there's also a longer term effort because EWS is going away in 2026 to also make sure that any gaps are filled by then, that we have something in place so that we aren't just losing functionality. But like Paul and I aren't really working on that effort, at least I think there's another PM that's working on that, and so maybe that's something in the next call we could address if folks are interested in that. I don't know, Paul, is there anything else we can say about that?
I don't have any other information,
Yeah,
David.
I know we're aware of it. Like, it's something we're working on. Like, I know the Microsoft Graph team is aware of it and they're working on stuff. I don't have like lots of details into what's happening there though.
Okay, so I don't think we have other NNA related questions. So Jamie, do you want to go ahead?
Yes, thank you very much. It's Jamie from Bright Carbon. We've got a general question. My colleague Paolo is also on the call and he's in our engineering team. We deployed a PowerPoint add-in manifest to a financial institution client in the middle of last month to a pilot test group of 5 users in their Entra group that was created for the admin managed deployment of this manifest. All 5 users got the app within the first 24 hours, as stated in Microsoft documentation, apart from one who didn't get it until 2 weeks later, a total of 14 days. And we cannot figure out why that happened or whether we can do anything to test to see whether users should have access to an app or not. And there were no mitigation, no resolution actions taken on the client side, either from a perspective of changing that user's role within the Entra group or doing anything on their machine, because they were suggesting reinstalling Office, which I was very strongly advocating that they shouldn't need to do for this user to have the app appear in the add-ins UI. So I saw that you shared just recently the new App Store UX experience, and I was just wondering whether that could be at play and interfering with the admin managed deployment, but we just could not figure out, and we were about to move from a pilot of 5 to several thousand, and are quite concerned that we may get this experience again. Is anybody able to answer that one?
Hey, Jamie, this is Wenjun. Maybe I can give you some suggestion on this one. As we do have a internal, we have a email thread for this. So first, for the issue, say, I do suggest you create a ticket to Microsoft. Then we can leverage the standard process to involve the current owner of the admin deployment team to take a look. I know that we're still waiting for email response from them at this moment, but if we go through in parallel for the support ticket, that may be able to involve the correct engineer to take a look. That may be able to help you to isolate that issue. This is first thing. And second thing, for your question, whether the new store experience will address this, I think the answer is not, because for that part, we have no change for the admin central deployment. So I don't see any difference will bring with the new store experience you see in the client side. So my suggestion is still that that's work together with the admin central deployment team to say that whether we're able to isolate the issue.
Okay. On the new store experience, I did notice that the refresh button seems to have been eliminated. So I was wondering whether that was in play or not.
We don't have the refresh button because we expect the store will retrieve the most recent information as some kind of interval periods. But that I suspect that issue is on the server side for central deployment instead of the client side refresh. So that's why I suggest we involve the correct team to dig deep into the root reason.
Okay, thank you. Where did you say that we have to raise that request?
Let me see. Have you already created a GitHub issue? That is one channel. Another one is that you can create a support tickets.
Not yet.
Yeah. If you haven't, you can have a try.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Wenjun. Thank you, Jamie. And I don't think we have live questions in chat, but I think we can continue to the next part. But if you still have any questions, just feel free to put the questions into the chat channel so that the team can take care there. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And so we have some questions in the Q&A survey. And the first one is about the PowerPoint add-in, and seems that this add-in is about the content add-in. So the question is that when I know I can use the set selected to highlight a certain part of the text, but the add-in window still remains the active one, so the users will still have to use the mouse click or hit Alt key twice to get back and continue working. Is there any way to set a PowerPoint session as the active window after code has finished running this add-in? And the answer to this question is that because can you specify like which platform is this issue for? So theoretically, set selected implementation could be updated to take focus off the add-in pane and put it into the editor on Win32 and Mac. So if you can put this issue to this GitHub link to create one and to include more details so that the team can follow up further with you. Okay. So the next one, I think this is the question. This is question Jamie just mentioned. So I will not mention it again. And yeah, let's skip this one maybe. All right, so the next one would be the questions is separated into two parts, and the first one is the regular way of removing an add-in seems to be gone. Used to be easily done under management apps after clicking the add-in on the home menu. Now the list button does not have the remove option anymore, but it's only for some of the add-ins. And the answer to this is that if an add-in is deployed by the admin, it cannot removed by an end user. That is by design. But if it's not that case, please submit this issue to GitHub link to help us locate this problem. And another part of this question is that about the just verification and because the question is mentioning that the string sounds intimidating for most users, and even though the code is all executed locally and no data leaves the local machine, but the stress screens will sound like giving away all controls. And the question to this is that we will take these suggestions into our consideration, but for the requirement to build a trust with the adding customers, you can consider the Microsoft 365 app compliance program so that you can get a small badge to your add-in so that the adding customers would be more easily to build trust with the add-ins. Okay, so let's go to the next part. So if you're new to Office add-ins, you can check all those resources, our documentations, the quick starts of WXP add-ins, and also the script lab, so that you can try all those API codes in the app, and also the samples to see all of our samples. And also you can join our developer program and look for information about Office scripts. All right, so if you have some questions and you would like to engage with the team, you can submit all your questions through those channels. For example, the technical questions about Office add-ins, you can go to these two links. And also this product bug link is a very common way, is a common channel to submit all your issues with the details so that the team can follow up with you. And if you have some feature requests and suggestions, you can also feel free to submit them to this link. And also we have a lot of community calls in the M365 developer community. So for all those links, I will paste them to the chat channel. So if you are interested in any of the calls, please feel free to join them. And they are all archived here in this link. Okay, so that is all for today's call, and we have some little problems that the previous series ended. So we will upload another schedule there, so you can download the meeting schedule to your local machine, and so that it will show on your computer still monthly. And the recording will be available on our YouTube channel a couple of days after this call. And you can also follow us on Twitter and these two channels. And the next call would be March the 12th and the same time. And the agenda will be posted a few days before the call. And you can submit your questions through this forms link so that we can answer those questions in next call. Okay, so that is all for today's call. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.